Alois Maxwell Hirt was born in New Orleans in 1922, and he died in 1999. And in between those dates, man, did he blow up a storm. It's funny, Hirt always bristled when anyone referred to him as a jazz trumpeter. As far as he was concerned, he played the trumpet, and he played a lot of types of music. Pop, R&B, cabaret, show tunes, blues, and of course jazz. All kinds of jazz, including Dixieland, swing, bop, cool, big band, straight ahead, etc. What Al Hirt liked to do mostly was to play his trumpet like a madman and entertain. Like many New Orleans musicians, he clowned around a lot on stage and generally had a good time and wanted to make sure the audience was having a good time. For this reason, as well as his indifference to the jazz's art form movement and its acolytes, jazz critics always gave him short shrift. Even though he had incredible tone, he had beautiful phrasing and insane power when he did play jazz. Miles Davis, you might have heard of him, said of Hirt, "That cat can play, but man, he's so corny." Yeah, well, Louis Prima had the same thing going on, and frankly, so did Louis Armstrong for the last few decades of his life. These guys were New Orleans born and bred, and they wanted to entertain people. And a lot of serious jazz fans turned up their noses at them because what they wanted were serious jazz artists. Armstrong's reputation as an artist was rehabilitated after his death, and rightly so. The guy was astounding, groundbreaking what he did in the early years of jazz. But during the decades before his death, the whole Hello Dolly thing, he was not taken seriously anymore by the jazz establishment. They thought he clowned around too much. Prima and Hirt have not come in for forgiveness yet, and let's face it, it's probably not going to happen. They're not of the same stature as Louis Armstrong. Hirt played with Monk Hazel, Tommy Dorsey, Jimmy Dorsey, Horace Heidt, Ina Ray Hutton, Benny Goodman, and others. But things didn't really pop for him until he returned to New Orleans, signed with RCA, and then he posted 22 albums on the Billboard charts in the 50s and the 60s. And then Hirt did a cover of Allen Toussaint's Java in 1964. It went to number 4 on the Billboard charts and scored a gold record. So I have favorites: the aforementioned Java, Boy Meets Horn, and The Angels Sing. And just in the interest of full disclosure, yeah, I'm a hardcore jazz cat. I'm definitely a fan. And I'm also from New Orleans. By the way, Al Hirt was the guy playing the trumpet on the theme song for the Green Hornet television show in the 60s. Most of you, however, probably remember that track because it was later used in Kill Bill to great effect. When you get a chance, listen to it. And as you listen to it, it will seem impossible that a human being can play a trumpet that fast and still sustain that sort of power and breath control. Hirt was a big man. He was a big man physically. His nickname was Jumbo. And he was a man of prodigious appetites. He drank a lot. He smoked a lot. He ate a lot. He chased women a lot. He gambled a lot. He loved the ponies. He stayed out all night every night. And somehow he still lived a pretty long life, all things considered. If you're a jazz fan, a trumpet fan, or just a fan of good music, do yourself a favor. Get one of his many albums. CD, vinyl, digital, it doesn't matter. I think it's going to make you happy.